Okay, now that we've created our two custom events, create session and join session, we have to call these events somewhere. We have to initiate these events. Where would we do that? Well, we would do that in the main menu UI where we have our two buttons, one for hosting the game, which would be create session, and one for joining a game, which would be join session. So let's get over there now. I'm going to click on main menu map, content, UI, and main menu, and in there we have our main menu widget or UI, and look, it's got a heart for the hearts, like lives that a player could show on the screen, or text, any text on the screen. That's a good way to remember the widget blueprint. All right, so I'm going to come in here and we have our host and join button. Now there's the front end designer right here. That's where we put it all together, all the visuals of the front end UI, and then there's the back end coding right here. So this is our look at the back end here, and we have our on click events already scripted out for us, except we need to add something to it. So the on click for the host button, you see the name is right there, on clicked host. What it does is it executes down here and it says, okay, remove from parent. So that just removes the UI from the screen and then transfers us into the travel map and then quickly to the lobby map. And it all happens so fast almost. Then we have cast to game instance. Guys, when we're casting to something, that just means that we're saying, okay, I want to be able to use things like variables and custom events from that blueprint. That's all a cast does. So now what I can do is I can drag off of this pin, actually drag off of this output pin right here and type in create session, and boom, my call function, I'm calling the event right here, create session, the one that we created. Okay, and if this cast got deleted somehow, making that reference, this would not show up in the list. All right, so let's do this one down here for the on clicked join button. Okay, and it's casting the same way. It's removing the UI from the parent, and then it's casting to the game instance blueprint up here so we can use an event inside there. And we're just going to drag off here, and we're going to say join session. There it is right there, and it fills the list, boom, and it makes that connection. Now this is asking for a little bit more. It's asking for the IP address, because when we join a session, we need to give it the IP address of the session of the computer that has the session that we want to join. Okay, and that's easy to do. Look at right over here. Let me just show you. The IP address gets put into this box. So on the back end, we have this little thing right here that says the IP address. I'm just going to drag this out, and we want to get the information that's contained within that box. We do not want to set it or change that information. That would not be good. So I'm going to hit get, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure you can see this. I'm going to drag off of that pin, and I'm just making it up here so you can see it. Now I'm going to type in get text, and it's going to get the IP address out of that box. Okay, that's all that function does, and it's built in to Unreal. Now these pins are the same color. Guys, it's very important that pins are the same color, but that means that they're compatible. Now sometimes you can make a conversion and it'll do that automatically, but for the most part you want the pins to be the same color. Now if I just drag this, look at, I got that little checkbox, I can let go and it makes the connection. Now it's feeding that IP address into the join session, and when it goes to make that connection, it just uses that IP address and says, okay, cool, we can make the connection. There's an IP address. So I'm just going to compile and save. Awesome. Right now I could hit play, and then what I can do is hit host. Okay, I think I have a little bit of a problem. Now I'm going to come over here, and my IP address has since changed. 192.168.0.102 is mine, and I'm going to hit join. And boom, I make the connection, but there's a problem. I don't have a character in there. That's okay. What I'm going to do is show you how to get the character. So what we can do is we have to switch to our lobby game map. Okay, our lobby map. Basically, I'm going to come back to my main menu map, content, maps, lobby map. Here we go. And what I need to do is come over to my settings, go into world settings, and it'll transfer you to the world settings tab right here, and we're looking for the game mode override. You're going to click on that little down button, and I've already made that blueprint for you, so it should be in the list. It's called lobby GM, which stands for game mode. I click on that, and it fills in basically the rules of the game. We want to start the game off, or that level off, not the rules of the game, but the rules of the level. I want to start off with a base character, and the one that we specify is the lobby player controller, and I want to start with that lobby player controller. Okay, so that's what the game mode does. Now what I can do is I'm going to click save. There we go. I'm going to go back to my main menu map. Perfect. And I can then hit play. So remember, if your window is squeezed, you can click on this double arrows here and look for play. Boom. I'm going to click host, and now I have a player, but I can't control this guy. Okay, that's a problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit escape. Don't worry about that error. We actually have to add a little bit more blueprinting in there. That's fine. I'm going to go to content, blueprint, and character, because this needs to be done in our base character blueprint. So I'm going to double click and open that up. And what we're going to add is just a event begin play here. So just use your right mouse button to get some room right here. You're going to right click and you're going to say begin play. Okay, and that gives us the event begin play. And we're going to drag off and we're going to say set input mode to game only. Okay, game only. We don't want a UI. We were in actually UI mode. We don't want UI mode. Game only, and we need to drag off this input pin, the player controller. So we want to say get player controller. There we go, right there. Boom, just like that. Nice. All right, so let's compile, let's save, and let's go ahead and test it out. Now what I can do is come over here and hit play. And let's make these screens small enough so you can see both of them all in, let's see, it should resize. Is it going to resize for us? Okay, maybe it'll only resize. Oh, maybe I went a little bit too quick for this window to resize. Let's see if it, oh, I guess it kind of resized. Let me drag it down. Oh, there we go. It resized. Perfect. All right, so I just wanted you to be able to see both of these screens. Now I'm going to host one in the client one. Okay, cool. Now I can look around and I can move. That works out great. Let's see. WASD moves us around. I can jump, but I don't see another player in there. Well, I haven't joined. Now what you can do is a Alt. If you hold down the Alt and tab it, it'll switch you to the next window or the previous window that you were in. You can hold down Alt and tab, and it'll give you all the different windows that you have open. There we go. And I'm in this one. I'm going to type in the IP address 192.168.0.102. Now I want to say that this will not be yours. You have to find the IP address of your computer, just so that's not any confusion for you. You do not just type in the one that I have here. You have to find the IP address of your computer. So I'm going to hit join, and it joins the session. And look at that. I can see my player just like right there. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Whoa, 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 whoa. A little too close for comfort, man. A little too close for comfort. All right, so we have joined our first session. It's pretty cool. We have now created a multiplayer game. Nothing's going on in the game, but we are well on our way to having some fun and doing a lot of cool things. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to hit escape on that. Remember, it all starts in the main menu map, where you have to go into the graph area of your main menu UI widget, okay, and you have to add on the create session by dragging off of this pin right here, and also the join session down here on the join button. You have to drag off of this pin, and then you have to drag out the IP address. Then you have to drag a pin off there, say get text, and then connect that to the IP address. Then you have to open up, if you remember, you want to open up your, not your UI, your map, lobby map, and make sure you set your game mode override to lobby GM. And then in your base character, you want to add the event begin play, set input mode to game only, and then off of this pin, get player controller. And then you can go back into your main menu map and give it a test. All right, go ahead, have some fun, and I will see you guys later. And don't forget to save.